Hello, my name is Maya Smith, and today I would like to persuade you guys why prostitution should be legalized federally. The First Amendment provides us with our basic human rights. And according to the First Amendment, pornography is defended in most types. The exception includes child pornography and obscenity, though it is impossible for everyone to agree what obscenity includes, especially since there is no national standard that determines whether what is considered obscene. Children, though, are protected through the Online Protection Act, which determines if material is harmful to minors, including child pornography. Right now, pornography is protected because it is considered artistic free expression. But there is no national standard for what is considered artistic expression. So in turn, that means that there is no legitimate distinction between pornography and prostitution. This is because the action still involves people trading their bodies for sexual reasons while receiving money for their action. Even if both partners are being paid, someone is still paying them for the action of sex work. With this knowledge, we can prevent thousands of arrested prostitutes and in turn keep them safe, while making hundreds of millions yearly in tax revenue. I would like to discuss the benefits of legalization of prostitution. This includes reduction of negative effects on sex workers by legalizing and regulating sex work, giving women and men full access to their body and First Amendment rights, the extensive economical benefits we are seeing by regulating and legalizing the trade, and slowing down child sex trafficking rates considerably. Prostitution is considered a non-violent crime that have cost Americans billions in tax dollars. Due to it not being federally legalized or the national standards of sentencing penalties, arrests regarding prostitution and many other things are left up to the states. And because each state takes different things into consideration, like location, an example being them near a military base can land prostitutes and customers into even larger fines or jail time, according to Citation 18, the United States Code, Title 1384. Another point to bring into consideration is character investigation. Whether or not prostitutes have received jail time, or if it is their first arrest or 20th, accounts, once they've been found guilty of criminal sex work, they can be denied employment according to Citation 25, United States Code, Title 3207. I want to use accurate information based on average jail time of prostitutes, but since each state's laws vary so much, I could not find information on a national level. I want to use the most relevant information regarding penalties for prostitution. Using only relevant information I could find was in 2016, according to the federal prostitution arrest data, there were 38,000 arrests made. This number has gone down significantly compared to records between 2001 and 2010, which averaged at around 73,000 a year. On average, it costs $31,000 to incarcerate one inmate a year, according to the Vera Institute of Justice. This does not include the average cost of arrests made to prostitutes, which is usually around $2,000 per arrest. In 2016 alone, the cost of arrests in prostitution estimates around $7,600,000. This figure does not represent arrests of customers or pimps incarcerated for these prostitutes. Because there isn't a federal number of represented costs of incarceration and an average time for each state or any number to know how many people have been arrested, it is impossible to know how many women and men are sitting in jail and how much they cost the system on average. In many states, the punishment varies from a misdemeanor from class 1 to class 3 all the way to a felony. After the first offense, we know that the jobs can deny you a position on character. For most states, after the second offense, consumers and prostitutes are likely to face over a year in jail time, and in many states, even more time than that, along with larger fines that can be included on top of time. To check this out from state to state, you can go on to prostitution.procon.org if you're curious about your home state. Prostitution creates great tax revenue. There are many countries that allow prostitution and regulate it. These include New Zealand, Australia, Austria, Canada, Denmark, France, Germany, Finland, Argentina, Brazil, Belgium, and many, many more. In Germany alone, they have over 700,000 registered sex workers. It is an $18 billion industry. Germany makes an average of $1.4 billion a year off a taxation of legal prostitutes, even though over 2/3 of the prostitutes on a national level make less than 2,000 euros a month and average at 24,000 euros yearly. According to the revenue statistics in the Netherlands, they tax prostitutes an average of 38.8%, and in 2018 made $800 million off of the sex industry. Instead of us funneling billions of dollars into trying to stop the sex trade and incarcerating young people in the United States, they could legalize it and collect taxes off it that could be funneled into paying off our debt and improving our education system. By federally legalizing prostitutes, we can regulate taxes, keep women and men in the trade safe, and keep the customers safe, and all the while take away power from pimps. According to the National Overview of Prostitution and Sex Trade, a very small portion of pimps and traffickers have ever been arrested. 70% of all arrests in prostitutions are female prostitutes. 20% of male prostitutes and 10% are Johns who are purchasing the sex work. Because prostitution is illegal, it allows pimps to take advantage of men and women who have grown up in a cycle of sex work, those who are addicted to drugs, and in general, those who are not financially stable and have no support. According to a study done by the University of Pennsylvania, the average age to enter into the sex trade and prostitution is 12 to 14 years of age. The United States could combat illegal child sex trafficking with tax revenue from legalization of prostitution. Decriminalization of prostitutes would not even only keep those purchasing sex safe, it would keep the men and women in the industry safe and from abuse caused by pimps and customers. Pimps are known to target those who come out of prison because it doesn't rehabilitate women in the system. They come out with $50, no place to stay, and no support system, along with a felony that goes on the record, making it harder and harder to find a job. These women are forced to fall back into a trade and continue a cycle, or they get arrested. Once they come out of that, they have no other skills, and felonies making it almost impossible for them to get a real job with a record. With basic regulations like annual STD checkups, mandatory use of protection, setting a legal age for purchasing and sex work, and working through brothels that manage customers and taxes, we can keep everyone in the trade safe and healthy. The point that can be made through all of this is whether or not the women or men faced in prison or jail, if this goes on their record, they are allowed to be denied work because of their past in the sex field. This means that the system is very unlikely to rehabilitate those working in the field. Because it is more difficult for people that have been in the system and they have likely no opportunities, it leads thousands of men and women to fall through the cracks, when there's an opportunity instead to keep them safe and benefit our economy greatly. Thank you for listening and have a good day.